guys, Simply Colie here, and today is another Anime Wednesday. And it's another day where I have definitely trying to keep up or get back on track on this video train, as they say. No one says that. And yeah, so here we are going to be discussing the third entry into the supposed to be Halloween entries of anime. And this one is just a list of 5 psychological thriller horror anime that really get to me. And if you want to be got to, then check some of these out. So I'm just going to give a quick synopsis of each show, just so you can know if it's something you'll be interested in, or you can check out my blog where I will have more information about each show, and okay, not that much more, but definitely more than this, because I think I'm going to try to make this video really short, because it's just supposed to be a list that is short and sweet without too much of me talking about nonsense. So the blog will have more nonsense. Trust me, can't stop myself. So these are in no particular order, but before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and definitely put in the comments below what your favorite horror psychological anime is or are, and also please let me know what kind of videos you like the most from this channel if you are a subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, what do you think you should do? I'll give you a second. I'll give you a second to think about it. You should subscribe. Did I get you? I don't know, that was stupid. So, on to the list of anime that we will be discussing quite quickly. The first one is Attack on Titan, and I don't know if I put this on every single one of my lists, but it was definitely on the slasher list as well because it is quite gory. So if you don't like gory horror, thriller, psychological shows, then don't watch it. But this one basically is about a world in which people are living behind gigantic walls in order to avoid being eaten by gigantic titans, which are these like dead-faced humanoid looking things that eat people for seemingly no purpose. Now, I put this on my list of psychological anime that kind of gets to me because it's not just a slasher anime. It's not just like stabby stabby, run away, we're moving on with our lives onto the next, hiding point where then again we go stabby stabby. It's not like that at all, where the running and the hiding and the stabbing. This is definitely more mental in my mind. In my mind. This is stupid. So it's definitely got more of a mental sort of fatigue to me when I'm watching it. I am mentally fatigued because it is quite sad and quite depressing, and it really can get to you about what is happening in the show. It doesn't just have like a run and like jump scare sort of situations. It really builds the tension when they're in some of these situations. And keep in mind, I have only seen the first season, okay, because I could not watch anymore because it was too disturbing to me. First of all, the monsters are disturbing. They are these gigantic creatures with these dead faces that just go around eating people, and some of them have these really weird eerie smiles on their faces. There's just like, it's kind of like a clown, but not a clown, but this one eats you with just like no regard for anything, just like meow, meow. Take a nibble. Awful. So moving on to the next show we'll talk about, which is Death Note, and this one completely different from Attack on Titan. This one is definitely more psychological in that it is psychological, really, I guess. I don't know. The show is supposed to be really good, and it is good, okay? It is a good show. Like, it's definitely watchable. I wouldn't count it as one of my favorite shows of all time, but in general, here's what the show's about. It's about this guy who gets this book from a demon. Basically, it's called the Death Note, and he can write in the book about how someone will die, and they'll die that way. So, like, he writes blah, 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 has a heart attack, and then they go and have a heart attack, and it doesn't, like, leave a trace of anything behind, so people just think he died of a heart attack. But yeah, that's the basic premise of the book, the story, and then there's this police force that's trying to catch him and stop him, but then like the world is kind of like trying to back him up because no one knows who he is, but they're trying to back up the killer because he's like only killing bad guys. So they're like, he's bringing justice to the world, and the cops are like, he's just a vigilante, where have you heard that before? Am I right? So you know, that's what the basic premise of the show is, and I included it in the psychological portion because it's kind of just like a mind battle between the characters, Elle and Light. So that's why I included it. I don't know that it's, you know, it's okay, you know. I'm probably the only person that will say that. I think a lot of people really like this anime, so don't come for me. But it's alright. It's entertaining enough. I enjoyed it while I watched it, but will I watch it again? No. Did I watch the movie? No. Am I watching anything else about it? No. Okay, so the third anime on this list that I will talk about is Fate Zero, or Fate/Zero. I don't know how you say this show. Okay, so Fate Unlimited Blade Works is like one of my favorite anime of all time. You can make fun of me if you want, but it really is one of my favorite anime of all time. I love all the characters in it. I actually dressed as Rin for a convention one year because I was so into it, and I wanted so badly for my husband to dress up as Archer, but he wouldn't do it, so I went as Rin by myself. Anyway, I'm too old to do this. So that's beside the point. The point is I really love Fate Unlimited Blade Works. So when I saw, you know, Fate Zero was out, because I'm pretty sure that came out before, the whole timeline of Fate is freaking confusing. I tried to read up on it for like hours at one point because I did start watching the Netflix one. I can't remember what that one's called, Fate something, obviously. But I started watching that one because it has Archer in it, and I wanted to watch it because like I'm really into it, and I couldn't. The whole timeline situation is completely confusing and stupid. But anyway, so back to the point of this video. So Fate Zero, okay, I could not watch the whole thing either. Like, when I watch something that disturbs me, I try my best to get past it and just move on, because I figured the whole thing isn't going to be like that, right? But I couldn't. I just couldn't. So in Fate Zero, in this particular one, I actually tried it like 3 times. So at first I was stopped by, I can't remember what the order of these things are, but these are the 2 scenes that stopped me from watching the rest of the show. And I don't know if this will ruin it for you, but I feel like if you're disturbed like I am and you don't want to be too disturbed, then don't watch this. But so let me just give you a brief synopsis, I guess, of what the show is. So Fate Zero is about this world where people are fighting for the Holy Grail so they can get like a wish or something. I think that's what the point of it is. They can get like a wish. I don't know what these wishes are, but anyway, so it's like these wizarding families are fighting for the title, and they can each summon like a hero, a legendary hero, and each hero has like its own class. So like I said, there's Archer, there's also Saber, who turns out to be like King Arthur, who's a girl. Yeah, it's fine. It makes enough sense when you're watching the show. But there's Archer, who's obviously an archer, and then there's I can't remember everyone that's in this one, but it's okay. It's a very interesting idea, I'm not gonna lie. The whole wizarding family background, the whole fighting for the Holy Grail. I personally like shows that include, you know, religious sort of ideas, just because I'm interested to see what other people think about it. Doesn't matter, it's a side topic. But I liked the whole concept of the show, but the actual like happenings in the show were a little disturbing for me. So there's like this scene where this like the guy, one of the heroes, comes up and he's like a little murdery in my opinion, and not in a sweet way. That doesn't make any sense, but what happened disturbed me. And then this one magical family, they're like trying to raise their magic or something by doing terribly disturbing things to children, and it just couldn't watch it. So I mean, if you're okay with that kind of stuff and you want to be psychologically damaged, then check it out. But honestly, even the stuff besides that wasn't interesting enough for me to want to continue. It just kind of seemed like it was there for shock value, but it was disturbing, so there's that. The next one I want to talk about is Angels of Death, which, disclaimer, haven't actually finished it yet. I've got like 1 episode left to watch, but I had to include it because it's a newer anime and it is so far so good. I love it so much. I love the characters. Short story, it's about this girl who is trapped in some kind of basement situation where she starts on the bottom, and like they're trying to kill her, and then she works her way up through the basement dungeon, whatever it is. And there's, you know, questions about you know, what God is, what her faith is, like what is happening. And the characters themselves, like that run each floor, are uber creepy, and I love it. I love this one. Like it's not like jump scare, and it's not like terribly psychologically damaging, but it's kind of like a horror that makes you think, if that makes sense. Like, you know, what's going on? Like, what is her history? What is her past? You know, why is she here? You know, why is everyone trying to kill her? What is her God? Why is she saying, you know, all of this? And why is she dead? Why can't she smile? I love it. So I would definitely check it out if you're interested, and I will hope to have a beefed up review of this one once I actually finish it. I haven't finished it yet. I got distracted by other anime, shock and surprise. So the last one on the list is Paranoia Agent, and this one's uber creepy. Okay, like the characters are so creepy. Okay, the characters themselves are not like super interesting or anything, and to be fair, I watched this one a really long time ago, like when I was, was this something when I was in high school? Oh my god, it's a really old anime, so just bear with me as I recall the creepiness factor. It has stayed with me for years, okay? Super creepy. This little kid on like a skateboard smashing people. It's super creepy, but it's definitely a show that's about more than a kid on a skateboard smashing people. It's definitely a show about like society and how far we've gone from just like basic human level interaction, and I love it. I loved it. I loved it then. I think it's even more poignant now. Is that how you say that? But I love this one. I always recommend it to people, and it was actually not like super popular, I think, when it came out. Maybe it was, I don't know, what do I know? But I really like it, and I definitely recommend it to everybody just to try it, because I feel like the show has a message that people need to see. So I think that's it for today. That was my Anime Wednesday of who knows what day this is going up, because this is a catch-up video, so I'm not counting it. And I do hope you enjoyed it, and if you guys have any other videos or animes you'd like me to review, please leave them in the comments below, or if there's any lists or anything you're interested in, let me know. And I believe that's all for today. I think I said that 4 times, but definitely subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next time.